Hello and welcome back to TechCoderLabz. Today we are going to talk about how to handle different routes using Django server. But before that, let's do some revision. So yesterday, or say in previous video, we talked about how to create a project and after creating the project, how to start the server. So let's do a quick recap. So we created the project yesterday, and in that this is the command at line number 4 we executed, and with that we were able to do that project creation. So I'm going to now change the directory to hello world, and here this is the command python, and then in the hello world directory you can see we have manage.py. So we'll use that file to start the server, and to start the server we will use run server. So the moment I do that, it's going to start the server at port 8000, which you can see over here. Okay, so I'm going to open a new browser tab, and in that I will show you how it looks like. So this is what we have done in the previous video. So now in today's video, what are we planning to do? So in today's video, let's say if I want to serve something at a given path. So let's say I'm building a website for my blogging, and in that there could be n number of blogs, and I want to categorize it, and at coding path I would like to serve coding related tutorials. So right now such path isn't available, and it doesn't serve any content at all apart from the errors you can see over here. You are looking at 404 error. So in today's video we will learn how to do that. So this repository which you're looking at, learn Python Django, it is open source, so you can open this at any given point of time on GitHub, and you can go through the notes which I've created and quickly recap the things which I have done. So today we are going to cover this couple of things. So to pause the recording or to pause the server, you have to press Ctrl+C, which it is already given over here. I'm hitting Ctrl+C, and with that the server has stopped. So if I go back to the browser, you can see if I hit the refresh, server is not reachable basically. So in yesterday's video we created hello world. So today let's just create another one. So I'm gonna go one step above or one folder above, and we no longer need hello world. So I'm gonna delete it, and let's create another one. So for creating a project from scratch, that's the command which you can see at line number 1. That's the command we are going to use. Django-admin start project, and I'm gonna say blogging. So with that we have created a new project. So let's go to blogging project, and in that you can see we already have manage.py, and this is kind of a default files which are created as a part of project. You can call it a template as well. So as a part of our template, you can see here we are serving admin path, and like I stated earlier, the goal is to serve /coding path, or it can be any path. Okay, so let's say I want to serve coding path. Now in order to achieve that, there are a couple of steps that we need to follow. So step number 1 is, once we are inside, we have to run the command startapp and then coding. So basically we are creating a mini application within our project, or mini application, or let's say serving a specific path. Okay, so in this example it's coding. So I'm going to say python manage.py and start app, let's say coding, or it can be anything. So for now I'm going to serve path or say provide the application, mini application called coding. So you can see there's a new folder which we've created here, and in that again there are number of files. Now let's take a look at Python file. So whenever I open this path, it should show something over here, correct? So the views file is responsible for that. So we need to add something in views file. And what is that? So for that, here we have added the code snippet. First, let me copy paste the code snippet and then I will explain it to you. So first thing first, we need to form the HTTP response. So let's say whenever you are hitting this path, it's basically sending a request to the server which we are running locally, and then that server should send some response, and that's why we've added HTTP response here from Django HTTP. And in here we are defining a method. So let's say my coding blogs, or simply we can say coding blogs also. Usually we get request as a parameter. Right now we are not gonna use it, but in future videos of course we will use it. And for that request, what do we want to respond? So for now we're just gonna send HTTP response with a text called my coding blog, or say example as well, right? So now that we have defined the function coding blogs, it's a view and it's going to prepare this HTTP response. So how to use it? So here we haven't handled the coding path. So in order to handle that, we need to add a new file called urls.py. So if you look at this other folder carefully, you can see that there is similar syntax here, urls.py. So in here we have this. So we want to serve /coding path. Here it's already serving the admin path. So I'm going to copy this and then switching back to urls folder, that urls file that we have created, and in here we want to serve, let's say, within the same directory, right? So let's take a look at the notes, and in that we look at this example. So here we have to use /coding. Okay, so coding / not /coding, coding / and then we are supposed to serve a view that we have created, but we haven't imported that here yet, right? So from the current directory we want to import views. Okay, so with that we have imported views. Now views dot, you can see it immediately gives me coding blogs, so I will select that. So here we have defined that whenever a user is going to request, or a client is going to request for coding path, we are going to provide this particular view. Okay, so now that we have defined it over here, we haven't basically declared it yet in another urls file. So that's something we have to do here as well. So as specified in the notes file, you can see that we have to update this urls file as well. So I'm going to copy this and we go back to the other urls file, which is the parent project. So remember that coding is a mini application and blogging is our main application. So going to the urls and putting that right over here. So in this one we are using include function, but we haven't added it. So I'm going to import it from the Django or Django URLs. So here we will add the include as well. So with this line, what we are stating is, we are stating that please include coding URLs and serve that as well. So what is the coding URL that we are trying to serve? Right now we are just serving one. In future examples or in future videos, we would be covering more paths which we can serve. So let's say coding, and then you can have some extra also, let's say Django related as well, or maybe related to Python, or maybe related to Swift. So that's something we can do, but of course not now, in the future. So I believe we are done with most of the changes that we need to do. All we have to do is just run the server one more time. So let's do this. Now that the server is working at 8000 port, I'm gonna refresh this. Excuse me. So now you can see we are getting 404 error on the landing page itself, because we are serving now two different URLs. One is admin and the other one is the coding, but we are not serving anything for the default landing page. So that's something we will solve in the next video, how to solve that. But for now, the objective of the video is to have the content available at /coding. So that's something we want to achieve, and let's see. So I'm entering /coding path and hitting the enter key, and with that we can see that it shows my coding blog, right? So we have finally achieved the objective. To quickly recap, let's take a look at the notes. Step number 1 is you start your project, and then you go inside the project, and then inside that you start a mini application with the help of manage.py. Mini application is nothing but a facility to serve a given path. Now in that we apply certain views or create specific views. In this example, we just started off with my coding blog, and that view we have imported and added and served under the URL pattern. Now that URL pattern was specified, we added it inside the urls.py file of the project, and with that we serve two different paths, /admin and /coding. Of course, we are not serving anything on the root path, which is /. And then after that we started the server, and we tested it in the browser by entering /coding path, and we were able to see the exact output which we wanted to see. So yeah, this is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. See you in the next one. Bye bye.